This week, Kirsten brought us the last in our current series, Jesus in our ministry, His purpose in our ministry. Over the last couple of months, we've covered Jesus our confidence, our focus, our fullness, our King, our lifestyle, our rock, and last week, Jesus in our home. This has been a really good series, and I'll suggest you go back through the various YouTube links and revisit some of the good stuff that we've covered. So, Jesus in our ministry, and we looked at the passage Colossians 4 verses 2 to 18. Here, Paul introduces his team of people that he trusts to do the ministry that they've received from the Lord. He names them all: Tychicus, Onesimus, Aristarchus, Mark, Barnabas, Justus, Epaphras, Luke, Demas, Nympha, and Archippus. These are important people to Paul, and he commends them to others for their skills and also their background, whether Jew or not, slave or free. Although Paul names so many people, it's clear that this ministry is for all. In his letter, Paul laid out the ministry to the churches. Put simply, ministry is our act of service for God. Now, the New Testament has been translated into English from Greek, and the Greek word used for ministry in this passage is diakonia, from which we also get the word deacon in English. So, is Paul saying this work, this service, this ministry is something just for deacons? No, far from it. This ministry is not one just for deacons, ministers, leaders, elders, or worship team members. It's for all of us. It's our ministry. For us to be faithful, Jesus should be in our ministry. So as we come through lockdown, it's important to remember that our ministry has not been rendered ineffective because of lockdown. Jesus is our ministry, and all things should flow from him and to him. Now, our ministry should be filled with prayer. It should be wise and how we interact with others. It should let our conversations always be full of grace and seasoned with salt. Now, at times we might feel that we're not equipped for our ministry to others. However, in 1 Peter chapter 4 verses 10 to 11, it tells us, "Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others, as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength that God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ." Now, one of the areas that I see my ministry is as a street pastor in Salisbury, and this is a great opportunity to be on the streets late at night, early in the morning, to help, care, and to listen to those who find themselves in trouble for whatever reasons. Now, as we get older, it often appears harder for us to witness to younger people about our faith and Jesus' death and resurrection. However, there have been so many conversations and opportunities to talk as a street pastor. Now, often this conversation starts with someone shouting out, "Oi, pasty, why do you do what you do?" Now, I thank God for these opportunities. The question has been asked, an opportunity is given, and with God's grace, a gospel answer can be given. But this ministry, it's not just about spiritual needs. It's also about meeting people's physical needs right when they need it. Whether that's by placing a thermal blanket around someone's shoulders because they're not dressed appropriately for the winter nights, providing much needed water for someone who is dehydrated because they've had too much alcohol, or sweeping up broken glass bottles from the footpath to protect someone's bare feet. It's also picking up discarded bottles so that they can't be smashed on the ground or even turned into weapons. Providing a pair of flip-flops for someone who's finding it difficult walking home in 4-inch heels after a long night out. or it's providing warm clothing, hats and coats for those that are homeless and sleeping rough in a multi-storey car park or a shop entrance. The great thing about being a street pastor is that the work that we do, our ministry, is also respected by the door staff and police, who are thankful for the service that's given by this group of strange Christians. Now, this last week I was given a quote from Inspector Pete Sparrow of Wiltshire Constabulary. In a world where the emergency services run from one crisis to the next, the street pastors offer time and humanity to individuals in need. In doing so, they help keep Salisbury safe. In Matthew 25 verse 44, we read, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison? It did not help you." He will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." So, this week, in our ministry, our vision should be Jesus wherever and whenever. God bless.